activity between two or more forces without being himself affected. Though the functions have varied, this is still his main function. And a lawyer can fulfill this function only if he is efficient and honest. Each attribute is as important as the other. An inefficient but honest lawyer is not much use either to clients or to society. An efficient but dishonest one is positively dangerous. Parkinson's law applies in the profession of law more than any other. Please remember that. The less work there is, the less work there will be to put your mind to it. And then the less they experience, and correspondingly in the second round, less work also. When it goes on down, spiraling down, then still you have no work at all. The more work you have, the better the application of mind, the sharper the intellect. And here work means work, not necessarily paid work. Work means being occupied. Always remember that. In Bombay we never got paid for anything. Nobody paid us. We were all with junior, with senior. They earned fat fees, but we were never paid even a pie. Never. The worst enemy of hard work is fixed monetary reward. There is no incentive. When your senior pays you a stipend, you begin to work less and less. As the value of the rupee falls, so does your enthusiasm for earning your monthly stipend. After you have read your brief and reread it, take time to reflect. Think on it. It helps greatly. This is the most precious advice I received from one of the greatest advocates of our time. I have not seen a greater advocate, C.K. Daftari, Chandubai. You'll find his portrait in the lounge in the Supreme Court. Go and see it. Magnificent. Great head. He was a champion in Oxford. He came back and he is a good lawyer and a fantastic human being. K.N. Bhatt once told me, the advocate, when he was an advocate on record, and Dwivedi, Advocate Dwivedi's father, was sworn in. He didn't go into the swearing in. Bhatt was to go into the swearing in, and he had briefed Chandu Daftari in one of the first three SLPs. So after Bhatt came out, Daftari said, "Did you hear the Chief Justice administer the oath to the new judge?" He said, "Yes, sir." "Did the new judge say that he will uphold the Constitution and the law?" He said, "Yes, sir." Yes. "I'm afraid then you have no case." He was a great chap. You should have seen, Daftari was one of our greatest, as I said, advocates. I've never seen a greater advocate than him. A good lawyer keeps his important cases always in mind. Always remember that. They travel with him. Whether you go out to dinner or at parties or when he goes out for a walk, especially when he goes out for a walk. You must give your subconscious mind an opportunity to soak in a case. And quite often you will find to your advantage. I have always found it. Solutions emerge as if providential, as if God has spoken. It's remarkable. When you are just wandering around somewhere in the park or some such, you immediately get a solution. Oh my God, I should really say this. In court, it is always better to understate, never overstate your case. Never tell the judge you have a cast iron case, because in 9 cases out of 10, he will tell you that you have not. I assure you. That's the natural reaction. If you stand up and say, "I have a cast iron case," this is absolutely unbeatable. He said, "I want to show you it's not unbeatable." Never say in court, "I never heard this argument." When I used this phrase when I was 10 years old at the bar, I swore never to use it again. Because with a nasty smile, the judge simply said, "You are still at the beginning of your career, Mr. Nariman. In course of time, you will hear and learn a lot of things that you have not heard of before." Never trump the judge's jokes. Judges make poor jokes, I tell you. Very poor. Or make it appear you are more humorous than he is. If you must tell a story, tell it against yourself, never in your favor. And leave your anger and all the vitriol that goes with it outside the court. Never take it into court. If you are tempted to be angry at what the judge said, kick your junior if you like. Don't abuse the judge. If you are tempted to be angry, also remember the great Lord Eldon. This is in one of the books. Lord Eldon sat for 25 years as Lord Chancellor in England in the 18th century. In 1887, as plain Mr. John Scott, the lawyer, he argued a case in the equity courts. The case was Dering versus Earl of Winchelsea. 35 years later, the case was cited to him when he was presiding in the Court of Chancery. Lord Eldon said he remembered the case.